What is crack-a-lackin' Denson? It's your boy Hintermint, and we're back with another little spicy bad boy, and this one is quite the jalapeno. Would I lie to you? Hell no, I wouldn't lie to you, dude. Alright, we're jumping right in. You guys know LAN parties, right? Well, they used to host these big events where over 200 and 350 people would rock up, all bring their PCs, connected up to a giant hub, and this is going to be a few events that just happened over the years, consecutively type of deal. But so you'd rock up with your PC, you would see these basement-dwelling, subterranean dudes who would only come out for a little bit of sunlight and to go to these events, and they'd be getting dropped off by their moms like, "Oh, baby, give your mother a kiss. Mom, not in front of the other nerds." So what would happen is you'd go in, you'd be like, "All right, I signed up online, I think we're good." And the main admin dude would be like, "Yeah, I can see you're somewhere near the back, so just go make yourself at home." So you'd set up your PC, you'd connect to this giant hub, which everyone's PC in the whole place is connected to this thing, and it had a chat room in there, and you could see whatever anyone else wanted you to see, like file-wise, and you could download it straight to your things. So best believe you'd be leaving this joint with packed hard drives, and Lord have mercy, in the early days of downloading, it was a godsend. So a few instances happened. There were prolific figures that would rock up. They'd go for like 48 hours, 2 days of nonstop gaming, hijinks, shenanigans out the wazoo. So one of the early times, there would be a few main dudes who would be consistent throughout the years. There'd be this one guy wearing a white turtleneck long sleeve shirt. Aptly, I called him Skivvy. Yeah. Skivvy's classic. And there was another dude, big chestnut, autumn breeze, beard, redhead cat. His name was Fiddy Yen, and he was this big dude. I'd catch a Fiddy Yen a few times. I remember coming out one night out the front, and he was there smoking a dart, and I just chalked up conversation like, "Hey, yo, you're the infamous Fiddy Yen." He's like, "Yeah, dude, there's a bit of weed mixed into this cigarette I'm smoking now. It's the only thing I need going to these Counter-Strike tournaments." And I'll just be like, "Oh, yeah, okay." And he's like, "Yeah, one time me and my boy, we distilled Red Bull into a crystal form, and we smoked that." And I was like, "Okay, Fiddy runs pretty hard. Fiddy runs pretty goddamn hard." And pray tell later as the nights progress that you put in your pizza order early, because no one's calculating food. This is gaming time, baby. This is PCing out the wazoo. So evidently you would be left high and dry if you didn't bring anything, but they'd have a few what they'd call red eye energy drinks there, and that'd keep you going, that's for sure. But if you didn't order anything, you'd be scrounging for anything you could. Chocolate bars would be the best you could probably get. All that, or you'd go to a nearby Macca's if you had the car. And eventually we got to that point where me and a bunch of boys went. We brought Bugski. There was a Chinese restaurant that had been reformatted into a Hungry Jack's, and they had the playground at the back. And before we were about to leave, a few of the boys were like, "Hey, what if we hit the Bug in the playground, like the top tower thing?" And I was like, "Hey, yeah, that's cool, man. Like, you guys go ahead for sure." So they did literally that. They went in there, snuck the Bug in past the two cashiers who were looking at him like, "What is going on here?" And I could see them up in the top spire lighting that bad boy, and we were on the phone with him at the same time, like, "Dude, we can see you. Like, give us a few signals to let us know that you're there." And they'd like light the lighter 3 times and be like, "Hey!" All of a sudden they would hit it. They would bust out of that joint like a man on fire. The cashiers are looking in sheer suspicion. And countless other events like this would just unfold, especially like getting more and more. We'd drive back, hotbox the car before heading back into the PCs just for straight gaming. We'd just leave them unattended. We didn't care. It was a bizarro trust factor thing going on, but hijinks is shoe nonetheless. And not to mention, like, the toilet in this joint, there was like one male toilet for like 300 dudes. So you can imagine what that looked like. I would hear later on from some of the boys like, "Yeah, sometimes the urge got a little too much and I had to go knock one out in the toilet." And I'm like, "What? You whacked one out? Dear God, man. Oh, yeah. That makes me think of so many more were doing it too, and they probably were." So this trickles on to another encounter. There was one time there was this absolutely heifer of a woman. a behemoth, if you will, and she had the most nasty dreadlocks, and she was just stinking up the joint. She had like a 2-meter radius of stank around her, and she'd walk up the aisles, and dudes would be holding their breaths like, whoa, what the hell was that? Dudes would be typing in the chat, something stink around here? Yeah, you're talking about dreadlocks? Bam! Mad ride going on. You do funny instances where you'd be like, hey, you talk to a dude, you become friends with an absolute stranger in the joint just by chatting to him, and you'd be like, hey, stand up right now, and you see him stand up, you're like, hey. But this ultimately leads to the main event. There was this one clip that circulated around the hub called clown porn, and it is exactly as you imagine, clowns having sex, a certain niche, but hey, something's gotta give. It's somebody's fetish, you know what I'm saying? So this clip would circulate around. It was funny at the best of times, and there was the all-seeing, all-encompassing projector which sat on the wall, towering over all the basement dwellers in the building. So a message comes out from the admin, and he's like, "Anybody got any clips?" I'm like, "Oh, we got a clip, dog." Yeah, we got a clip, dog. So my man Guz is like, "I got an idea, dude." Renames the file from clown porn to skateboard fails. Of course. Credit where credit due. Brilliant. Sends it into the dude. He sets it up on the projector and walks away. Hilarity ensues. Now, clown porn is a bit of a slow burn. It's a boil on the kettle. It's coming to a head. It takes a little while to really get going. And after a while, the admin comes back and he's looking at the screen like, where's the skateboards? Where's the skateboards, dude? So he starts skipping forward, and he cuts straight to what is two essentially clowns having sex. And now, it's not clicking in his brain what he's looking at. It's like, if some redneck hillbilly dude didn't believe in aliens, an alien busted in and started dancing on his coffee table. He'd be seeing it, wouldn't be believing it. The alien would leave, and it'd be like some strange person rocked in here invaded my home. It was the same thing going on with this admin. He couldn't believe what he was seeing because there was no skateboards. So he skips through, and then this is like the main theme from Everybody Loves Raymond, like, ha, 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 ha. Oh yeah, baby. Yeah. Oh yeah, you like this clown pussy, baby? Oh, ha, ha, ha. Oh, you like that? Oh, you're fucking right, I like that bitch. Yeah, my clown girl, yeah. And so it crescendos into unstatic ecstasy, and much like mirroring us boys as we laugh into our, ourselves silly at this whole prospect. And finally it clicks with the admin as he scurries with his mouse. You can see the panic as he quickly exits it. The damage had been done, baby. The war had been won. And that was just, so good. Unbelievable. But one of those things that just happens. And there's a few more events for this, but we'll leave it here. You get the gist, I hope. And so we'll leave it at that. Hey, yo, just for the end, turn out your pockets, pull out the lint. The chicks be asking, hey, who's that guy posted up in the back wearing those sunglasses with the dark tint? Ladies and gentlemen, a hint of mint.